Let's talk about Bad Bunny. So before we get into this whole thing about, a lot of these people, they selective damn outrage in regards of Bad Bunny and the whole Super Bowl situation, I do want to congratulate him and give him a little praise for a second. So shout out to the Bunster, Mr. Benito. Let me pull up his Instagram or the Instagram from Billboard because the Billboard is literally about to celebrate him as one of the top Latin artists of the 21st century, which some people was like, I heard somebody in my comments, it ain't him, it's Shakira. I'm like, Shakira? No, not Shakira. I mean, as much as I like Shakira, Shakira's definitely did her thing. I heard her tour that she just did definitely, did fairly well when she changed it from the arena to the stadium. But yeah, there's the post where it said Bad Bunny PR is number one at Billboard's top Latin artist of the 21st century chart. His reign is more impressive considering he didn't appear on Billboard's rankings until 2016. He tallies over they say his tallies over 2,000 to 24, 14 number ones on Hot Latin songs, and 8 on top Latin albums. The 25-year retrospective is based on performance on the top Latin art. Apparently, I can't read today. Let's start that over. The 25-year-old retrospective is based on performance on the top Latin albums and Hot Latin Songs charts from January 2000 through December of 2024. So they have more details on the link in bio. Um, then somebody wrote Shakira es más grande. And it seemed like people was just mad or whatever. Everybody keep talking about Shakira. I was like, okay, get over it. So while everybody else is out here saying it's Bad Bunny, and that's why I said I had people in my comments talking about, oh, now that Bad Bunny, it's Shakira. So, and then people were mad because they talking about Latin music is dead. I don't know in where on what planet is dead, but not in my house. So yeah, so there's that. Now also, hold on, because I got more to add to this story. So, and this is courtesy of Billboard and Telemundo. They basically announced this. He's going to be recognized as the top Latin artist of the 21st century at the Billboard Latin Music Awards. They said the prestigious honor is based on his unparalleled achievements in Billboard Top Latin Albums and Hot Latin Songs. The award ceremony will take place on October 23rd at 8 p.m. from the James L. Knight Center in Miami and will be broadcast on Telemundo. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, you could definitely check out his performance on but yeah, now everybody keeps that's what I was thinking because when I was looking at the whole situation, everybody was sitting there trying to be like, it's not him and Shakira. Everybody's is like, really? So we got a lot of people in the comments that are hating. I don't know if these are actual Bad Bunny haters or it's just people who are just deciding to troll because of him being attached to this whole uh Super Bowl halftime situation. So that's what I'm feeling like. I can't even tell if these are people that are just hating for the sake of hating, or they just like, okay, they don't feel like he deserves it. But it's up to them at the end of the day. Do awards and all these things, do they hold the same weight as they once did? I just feel like they really don't. I mean, I'll watch and see the show out of curiosity, and I guess this is ways for people to bring in the ratings. Maybe they feel like that Bad Bunny brings in bigger ratings than Shakira, even though Shakira is an icon. Shakira been making music since she was a teenager, so Shakira will always be that girl. But we can celebrate both. So they said he has become a cultural icon, breaking barriers in fashion, film, and music, from co-chairing the Met Gala to collaborating with soccer megastar Leo Messi, who was at my job actually a couple of weeks ago. They did a soccer thing at City Field, and he was there on a groundbreaking Adidas partnership, as well as starring in film projects alongside acclaimed directors and actors. Bad Bunny also graces the cover of Billboard's October issue 14. He will be the first Latin American male solo artist to headline the Super Bowl halftime, where, and this is why I felt like that was stupid, because I feel like, we're not stupid on that part of having him do it, but why couldn't y'all have Shakira do the Super Bowl by herself? I definitely feel like Shakira could have did the Super Bowl by herself, and Jennifer, as much as y'all say what y'all say about Miss Jennifer, she could have definitely did the Super Bowl by herself too. But Yeah, when it comes to Bad Bunny, he don't need a co-lead. Okay, so y'all, your gender bias is showing, Rock Nation, and by having that happen with them, because y'all didn't think that one Latin woman could uh bring in a large audience, and Shakira is that girl, so she could have did that. So with all that being said, congratulations to you, Bad Bunny. But there was an article that I came across that we could finally get to now that I've given him his flowers, where, the NFL, ever since they announced Bad Bunny as the headliner for the Super Bowl halftime show, we've had any immigrant snowflakes have had pretty much had their tits in a twist over one of the biggest musical acts in the world taking center stage. So yeah, they've been running around acting all big mad. I be feeling like it's fake outrage. We even had people like uh was it Moses Mike who brought up some man that was a singer in the 60s. They talking about each I was like, okay, sir, your age is okay, glasses, your age is showing. And then we had Christy Nome and her no ass having ass trying to throw shade. And we had Trump being like, I don't know who that is. Of course you don't, sir. You're an octogenarian. Of course you don't know who the fuck Bad Bunny is. So your opinion is neither desired nor required. And he's not part of your demographic. If you had it, if it was up to you, you would have them dig up Pat Boone and put him on the stage and sing his tired ass racist music. So in the New York Times, Molly Jung Fast labeled Bad Bunny an anti-ice pop star. What? What was this bitch? In a column titled "The NFL Gets It. Why Don't Democrats?" Insinuating that Bad Bunny is the face that can somehow save Democrats from free fall. I don't know if that's necessarily true. That could Bad Bunny save the Democrats? First of all, the centrist Democrat situation is cooked. They're a joke. We just saw this recent story where I saw Hakeem Jeffries arguing with another political pundit or whatever, or political figure. And I'm gonna sit there looking at this as nothing but a bunch of bullshit ass political theater. Him, that other one, the big back one, what's his name? Cory Booker. I don't know. Y'all both, I don't know which one of these little light brights is fighting for who's going to win the Razzie for the worst type of acting, because the theater that y'all doing is not, nobody's convinced except for the morons over there at The View that still try to perpetuate your propaganda. CNN, MSNBC, all the corporate Democratic companies that sit and push all BS. So I don't even think a Bad Bunny could save the Democratic Party, because Bad Bunny is all about universal love and he's all about uniting the people. Democrats ain't into doing that. They all about vote blue no matter who, as long as you're not progressive in your beliefs. As long as we can be cooked to these millionaires and billionaires and APAC, they don't care about, I mean, they had every opportunity to abolish ICE back in the day. They didn't do it. Didn't think it was a threat. Now look at what's happening. And of course, they're all around playing possum, because that old crypt keeper motherfucker told them to do that. So then we had that closet case, Benny Johnson, labeled Bad Bunny an anti-ICE activist and massive Trump hater. Well, it's not a crime to dislike a politician. Just like Trump saying recently he hates his ops. So we can't say that to him. So how you get to run around and say you hate people, but somebody hate him, all of a sudden you're anti this and you need to be deported and all this other stuff. Deport this up your ass. How about that? That's what y'all need to do. Now, when a major network interviewed me, well, this is according to the person who wrote the article. They were interviewed immediately after the Bad Bunny announcement. I was asked, "Isn't he controversial?" I was genuinely baffled at the question. "No, he's not," I said in complete truthfulness. Bad Bunny hasn't had major scandals of any sort. He has no arrest record. He's never made news for being intoxicated or under the influence. He hasn't had public fights with other celebrities or newsmakers, nor is he known for provocative social media posts or proclamations. He's not given to making polarizing statements or offering political opinions, save for those directly related to his homeland in Puerto Rico, where he lives full time. Well, he also has two homes in LA, I've heard, but I get it. When you're in the United States, you got to have somewhere to lay your head. But if he, for the most part, lives in LA, I mean, and lives in Puerto Rico, then that's his home, then that's that. And while several Latin artists, but also don't one of the what the hell's his name? One of the brothers that boxes, don't he have a home in Puerto Rico that was dragged over? The little blonde one with the mullet. I forgot his name. But and while several Latin artists have been openly critical of the United States' current immigration policy, even there, Bad Bunny has tread lightly. His widely quoted comment regarding ICE came in a tail end of an interview published online by ID Magazine in September, where he was pointedly asked if his decision to not give concerts in the U.S. was out of concern about the mass deportations of Latinos here. And I remember at one point he was denying it, like he was saying that wasn't the reason, even though I knew it was. But he openly admitted at the end of that article, I was like, child, first of all, these people be trying to play coy or whatever about situations, but it's like I can clearly tell that, yeah, because you're one of the biggest Latin artists on the planet, that you're not gonna want to risk your fan base being affected by the idiocy of this administration that's all about political theater and making everybody as miserable as possible because they hate who they are. So they want everybody to be as miserable as them. There were many reasons. They said, "quote There were many reasons why I didn't show up in the U.S. and none of them were out of hate. I performed there many times, most recently at SNL over the weekend. I just added that in, by the way. All the shows have been successful." He said, noting that Puerto Rico is an unincorporated territory of the U.S. and people from the U.S. could come here to see the show. But then he added, there was the issue of like effing ICE could be outside my concert. And it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about. Is that really a controversial statement? The man isn't saying anything against the U.S. or the U.S. government and hasn't even mentioned President Trump, as many other artists have directly and pointedly done, including rapper Doechii at her recent BET Awards acceptance speech. The fact that an artist has different political views, which they hate anybody saying anything remotely having a different point of view. They want people to be like the Borg. They want one track mind. You got to think all of a sudden resistance is futile. That's what they think. And it's like, no, I have a different opinion of yours. And if I don't like what you're doing, I have every right as an American to criticize the president of the United States for the lack in trying to actually help people get the help that they need. Everything, and then it's about why I gotta make things political. Everything is political. This current administration for the past 10 years, even when they wasn't in office, when Biden was running shit, they have found ways to politicize everything. Everything now is politicized. So when y'all try to say stop bringing politics into anything, have you been living under a rock? Everything is politicized. So therefore, you cannot make things political. And just because you say, I mean, Bad Bunny is saying the things he's saying, everything he is saying is not political. He's just openly speaking out about the disrespect of his country and the fact that y'all just rounding up regular people off the street, especially what ICE is doing. Did y'all not see the recent video of there was an ICE agent that shot a freaking priest in the face with a rubber bullet? This is acceptable? How you had one ICE agent grab a reporter and throw him across the room? Like I'm seeing all these videos and stuff on social media. So we're not going to sit up here and try to act like that what they're doing is okay because y'all want to blame trans people and immigrants for the way our country is when it's literally these government officials who are sucking the dick of these oligarchs so that way they can get their little tax breaks. That's what all this is stemming from. It has nothing to do with Bad Bunny, trans people, and immigrants. They're not taking your jobs. Because quiet as it's kept, none of y'all gonna go run into a field and start picking them fucking strawberries. So I don't know why y'all sit up in here and try to, and I don't give a good goddamn if that sounds like a stereotype. This is a reality. There are Latinos who are doing the jobs that a lot of y'all don't want to do. Cleaning the hotel rooms, cleaning your motherfucking houses, these rich people houses. When y'all got them as y'all, when you know, oh, you want all the immigrants gone until they come for your maid, until they come for your housekeeper, until they come for your nanny. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, I didn't vote for this. Yes, the fuck you did. So stand on it. You voted for it, Aiden Ross. You voted for it, Theo Vaughn. You voted for it, Muscle Queen, Joe Rogan. Well, all the damn HRTs you taken. And the human growth hormones, all that shit, yeah, that went to your damn brain and rotted it. Y'all voted for all of this. So y'all don't get to walk away when the shit get hot. When you go and you light the match in the bonfire, you don't get to run away when the brush fire get out of control. No, own it. Help put that fire out. Do the best you can with it. But when the brush fire get out of control, own it. And that's all I'm saying. I can't stand when people go and they do things because it's gonna bring them some type of money or success or whatever the case is. And then when the shit hit the fan, everybody want to run. Well, let's blame Bad Bunny, who, in my opinion, yes, is the least offensive when it comes to things. Then they got into this whole thing about Taylor Swift being widely speculated to be the Super Bowl performer of 2026 and has aligned herself with Democratic politics. I don't know where she leans because then you had her out here hanging with Blake Lively, who's problematic. You had her also out here hanging out with Brittany Mahomes, who's a Trump supporter. Excuse me. So nobody really knows where she leans politically. A lot of them feel like she's kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing, that she's kind of jumping on the whole Democratic thing because she knows a lot of her fan base are liberals. So she's playing up that little game so she could do what she got to do to celebrate 45,000 variants of the same damn album. We understand like how she's a businesswoman and all that other stuff and how great her team is, but let's call a spade a spade. Also, Taylor Swift also came out with that BS lie where she was talking about, well, I don't know, I've been worried so much about my fiance. He plays football, and I'm gonna be up there worrying about my 8 count. I'm like, girl, you perform all the damn time. Let's not try to use Travis playing football as an excuse as to why you don't want to do no damn halftime special. I was like, girl, please. Nobody believes that. But yeah, you can run that over to fake ass Jimmy Fallon and he'll eat that up because he's just so happy to get a celebrity in his damn seat that he can kiss their ass for like 7 minutes. And now they want to decide to release an extended version of that nothing burger of an interview. And of course, the Swifties will eat it up. But go ahead, that's what y'all do. Y'all eat up all the bullshit, and then you get mad because you're broke from trying because you can't keep up with the many variants that she released of this tight ass album. So now, furthermore, as a Puerto Rican, Bad Bunny is considered a U.S. citizen, which a lot of people in this day and age still don't know, including dumbass Tommy Lauren and a bunch of others. Like, how many times we got to remind y'all, U.S. citizens in Puerto Rico, interlinked. Puerto Rico's part of the U.S. This is why when y'all sit up here and try to remove all this history from schools, this is why people get dumber and dumber by the year or by the semester because y'all don't know these simple geographical things. Now, despite his citizenship, Bad Bunny sings only in Spanish and speaks English with a Spanish accent. Well, obviously, because English is not his first language. English is something that he just learned over a couple of years. And here's the thing. That's why I cackled when he was up in there saying, y'all got 4 months to speak Spanish. If this boy, who literally Spanish is his dominant language. He just learned how to speak English the more famous he became. He started taking English lessons, really started to speak it. If he could learn English, then we can reverse that. Like you can learn Spanish. Spanish is not that hard to learn. Speaking of which, I need to brush up on mine. All these Latin men I be sleeping with. So, and that is what they said that everybody wait, what has everybody's panties from the left and from the right tied up in a knot. Spanish is, and what's another thing y'all need to learn too is that Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world. Like, you can't speak American. Why y'all can't speak American? I didn't even know that there was such language called American. And I kid you not, this is what idiots say. Why you can't speak American? American's not a language. English is a language. And number two, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world. And then there's, another native speaker, second only to Mandarin. Now, I know Mandarin is hard to learn. In the US, Spanish is the second most spoken language behind English. Approximately 14% of the population, some 45 million people, speak it at home, according to Caucus census data. According to Luminate, Spanish is the second most listened to language in music, by far, with 24% of American music listeners consuming music in Spanish. French trails in third place at 8%. English is, of course, the top language in music consumption by a percentage of the total 88%, 88.8% to be specific, followed by Spanish 8.1%, and Korean in a distant third 0.7%, which is why K-pop is so popular in the United States, by the way. And Bad Bunny has been the most listened to artist in the world for 3 of the past 5 years. So I do agree with that. Like, yeah, like with me, if I'm not listening to English music, Spanish is also the music. Spanish music is literally what I listen to afterwards, and I listen to all different types of music. But for the most part, it's usually English music and Spanish music. That's usually what I'm listening to out of many of the other languages. In K-pop, they go back and forth between the English and the Korean and all the other stuff. So it's easy to kind of it's easy to listen to the type of music. And to me, I always said like music is a feeling. It's not even about the language. It's about how the music makes you feel, which is why they always say music is universal. Music, out of so many other things where politics and everything else is used to divide people, music is the thing that unites all of us. And I think that's why people relate to music more. I side eye people when they say I don't really listen to a whole lot of music. I'm like, I think you got like serial killer tendencies if you're not somebody that uses music or whatever the case is, any kind of arts to calm you down or to relax or do whatever. Like if I don't really listen to a lot of it, then what the fuck do you do? Because I'm like, I can't be bothered with somebody that is not that don't listen to music or whatever. So people do look down on Spanish, and I think that's what it is. I think the reality is it ain't got nothing to do with his politics, whatever the case is, because like they said, Bad Bunny is not somebody who is very offensive in a lot of stuff that he says. But I think the problem is because he's somebody who speaks Spanish, and people are just ignorant in that way. And then this person that wrote the article said they lost a job as a DJ for a classical music station in LA of all places because a listener called in to say she couldn't understand me. Well, bitch, clean the wax out your ears. That's what I would have said. And to me, like, look, if I had children, truthfully, I would be like Madonna. My kids gonna speak English, they're gonna speak Spanish, they're gonna speak French, they're gonna be speaking all these languages. I'm gonna have my children gonna be smart as hell, and I want them to be multicultural. And I want them to be, and that was one of the things I loved about like me growing up in Brooklyn and being a melting pot of so many different people, the languages and things of that nature. And growing up, going to a gifted and talented school, because like my mother was like, I don't want y'all to just be around one type of person. I want y'all to be around so many different cultures and that sort of thing. So that way you could learn to be around so many other people and learn diversity and all these other things. So I was glad that I had open-minded parents where they were just like they wanted me to not be afraid of people who were different, that they wanted me to embrace different cultures. And I think that's always what got me interested in people and different cultures and all those other things because of the way I was brought up. And I know I wasn't, my story is not everybody's ministry, but I just wish that a lot more people were more open minded. So at the end of the day, I'm excited for Bad Bunny to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to it. And maggots, stay mad. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story that I just read you all about the whole Bad Bunny thing? What do you think is the reason behind um, why people are hating on Bad Bunny and this whole situation, him performing at the halftime special? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.